Good day, I'm Colin Clark, and I just wanted to start a little video. I got some new motor mounts from Robert Catilla. These are polyurethane style, resistant to all sorts of cool stuff, and a little squishy. They're not like a skateboard wheel like I thought they'd be. They're a little more, just a touch squishy. Now, they're a lot better than these things. These things are designed to be compressed from the top down, and right now they're mounted on the motor sideways, giving a little crappy shearing force, and they shear. If you can see these engine mounts here, I've got 4 of them on the motor. Right here I've got this lower mount. This is a muffler mount. It's a little bit more squishy. It's a little more dense. And I've got 4 of these motor mounts right here, held on by this webbing in case they break and separate, which they're known to do. So what happens is you've got this motor which is attached sideways on a fitting, on a rubber fitting that's supposed to be used for compression. So you're getting a lot of a shear force which is pulling down on this thing. And these things break all the time. You'll see 2 or 3 go on these things a year. If you fly a lot especially, it's going to happen. And that it's not cool, especially when you've got this huge prop right in the back. So I'm going to get some video of this thing running and see how much vibration I get, and then I'm going to replace them out and it takes more video. Sooner or later I'll be getting these muffler mounts when Robert Catilla develops these. I'll replace those out as well. So here we've got some footage of the OEM mounts. Looks like that thing's shaking pretty good. Check out that muffler and that air filter housing. I found a huge problem right here. Oh no, it doesn't want to fit. I'll never get it in there. It doesn't like any direction. This is the Ninja motor. I'm sure to fit right on the Simonini, but what I'm going to try to do is maybe I'll just cut that short and it might fit right in. Just cut a couple threads off that. I found this other bolt that'll fit. It's off the old mounting brackets, but then there is no way I'm going to tighten it. So basically I had 2 options. One of them, buy a hex head bolt and make it shorter than the original, because you know this I could never get an Allen wrench in there. Or got a stud, thread it into the resilient mount, the new one I've got, and lock it in place with a nut or possibly 2 lock nuts. And that's what I decided to do. I couldn't find any stop nuts, of all things. So I tried these. Let me try these and see if it'll work. I'll put a lot of Loctite on there. In case you can't see this, it got dark from the time I started till now. But the bolt that I bought was too short, and there wasn't enough to catch the threads on there. It just barely fit between the fins on the cylinder and inside the bracket. So I put the stud in there. I twisted this red mount onto the stud, put a lot of Loctite on it, and threaded a nut on there with a lock nut on the back side of it with a little bit of Loctite. So I really want that thing to hold. I hear these things are awesome, so I really want it to hold. So here are the Viking PPG mounts. It looks very stable. Not much vibration on there at all. The muffler has all of the vibration, it looks like. On the left you've got the OEM mounts, the resilient mounts, and on the right you've got the Viking PPG mounts. It looks like on the left you've got a lot more shear force from that motor acting on the mounts. And you can see it in the cage as well. The cage is really vibrating. On the right, it's not moving very much at all. It looks very stable. It looks like it's really absorbing a lot of that shock, and it's not transferring a lot of that energy. So as you can see from the videos, it looks like these new mounts have a lot less vibration. You can see the air filter housing is really shaking in that first one. You can see the muffler is really shaking in that first one, and the engine altogether is really shaking. But in the second one, the engine does not vibrate nearly as much, which causes this to vibrate less. And the muffler, I'm sorry to say it, is still vibrating quite a bit, but I can't tell if it's less or not. So, I think I'm ready to go fly. Good morning. Good morning. Here I've got these new cool engine mounts on my motor. The thing seems to run a lot smoother. Nice, beautiful Saturday morning. Me and a friend are going to go out flying. He's got his new units, a tandem. He's going to go with his wife. Man, I'm excited to go today. Here it is. Those are the mounts. Went flying with those things. Had a really good time. I don't know if it lessened the vibration or not. It still had a lot of vibration, and I could feel it. It just didn't bother me as much. I guess that's it. Yeah, it just didn't bother me as much. So before I would find myself leaning forward, and just would always lean forward when I'm doing, a cruising speed. And now I'm just like, well, it's there, but I don't feel like I need to lean forward anymore. And I especially love the part where those things are not going to shear and break. And they're going to last me a lot longer than the other ones.